Hello everyone. Today I have a small update regarding the 3I Atlas, which is the moving object which has been spotted moving through space, apparently coming towards Earth. And I wanted to look at what that is. Is it a spacecraft or an asteroid, or is it something else? So I'll be looking at that today. I've also been looking around what's happening in DC with the military involvement there. And I've also been looking at something that seems to be going to happen with Elon Musk. And is he going to be assigned as an ambassador, for example, for the UK government, and what that might look like? So I hope you really like everything today. And we'll just get started. So I wanted to look around Elon Musk because I keep feeling like with all of his posts around the UK, where he comments on the UK and its current situations, I'm feeling like he's going to have a bigger involvement. So I wanted to ask all around, does Elon Musk have a bigger role going forward in the UK? So the first thing I asked was, is Elon Musk assigned to work with the UK government in its present form? And they said yes. And I said, how will that unfold? They said he is already working with the UK government in the background. And I said, what is he doing? They said he is preparing to step forward as an ambassador in the UK in the near future. And I said, what will this involve? They said that he will restructure the UK financial system, the tax system, and introduce energy tariffs and systems to help the people. Military law is now active in the UK. And under the template and direction of the USA, the military may be devolved in key areas to clean up illegal immigration. In the background, the government departments will be restructured and in some cases closed. For example, the tax department is going to be overhauled. MI5, MI6 and CID will be downsized or merged, and the legal system will be overhauled. I said, will an ID system go ahead? They said, yes. This is to allow for the quantum borders in the future and for the allocation of birthright income. So I've talked about this in previous videos about the birthright income and how the quantum borders will actually allow us all to move freely. But in the first instance, what they're trying to do is they're trying to get everyone back to their cultural base and then make an assessment of who lives where so that they can then allocate the birthright income correctly. I said, are any of these systems, like the birthright income or the ID system, are they going to be used to impose restrictions? And they said no. The Galactic Federation have all the main players now locked into the White Hat plan. The plan for a new Earth and a new setup, which will mean devolution of government, less taxes, free energy, birthright income, a lower working week in terms of hours, and natural healing through light, frequency, and sound. I said, what is the timeline? And are these systems coming in first? And they said, yes. The UK will be active by late 2026-27. And the UK will not have a two-party system going forward or a prime minister. An ambassador aligned to the Galactic Federation will be assigned. So the first thing I wanted to ask them was, what is the 3I Atlas? Is it an asteroid? And they said no. The 3i Atlas is part of the Galactic Federation fleet. And I said, so is it of the light? And they said, absolutely. It's harnessing tremendous power, vibrations, sonics, and sounds. And it's like a huge healing stone of power, which is accessing the energy field of Earth. And I said, stone. And they said, it's not actually stone, but it's more of a solid exterior with a plasma gaseous interior. And it feels like molten lava, but it's not that dense in reality. And I said, so what is this object? What's it here to do exactly? They said that the 3i Atlas is trying to align the harmonic field, the grid that is holding the Earth and the universe in place. And it's realigning and healing the grids with this plasma healing frequency. And I said, can you tell me what is a plasma healing frequency? They said that plasma is where gases meet other electrical items and molecules to create power. The gases meet with a conductor of electricity and they create a fusion whilst in a vacuum or confined space. The confinement then causes the eventual expulsion of the energy, or it creates a flow. They said that the 3i Atlas is moving through the harmonic field and it is realigning the grid. I said, what is the purpose of this? They said it is securing Earth's access points so that high vibration, frequency, and sound can be contained within Earth's atmosphere. It wants to help humanity by locking in these higher frequencies so that they can't dissipate. They're saying that over an area that's too large, the energy could dissipate. So it's being locked into the Earth's energetic grid system. And I said, what is the overall goal? They said humanity is about to go into the 7th dimension, frequency-wise, and this 3i Atlas is helping to keep the energy contained so that it can be achieved successfully. So that's very interesting information about the 3i Atlas. And it will be interesting to see how that story unfolds. I also don't know if my channeling around what is plasma healing frequency completely correct. So again, as you know, I'm not a quantum physicist. This is channeling. But if there's anything gapingly obvious there that I've done incorrectly, please let me know. So then I wanted to look at the cleanup that's going on in DC in the USA with the military intervening, it would seem. I wanted to understand the bigger picture around that. So I said the cleanup in DC with military intervention, will this be the template for all of the states in the USA? And they said yes. So I asked them, so the military will move in to deport illegal immigrants and relocate the homeless? And they said yes. And I said, what is happening to the homeless as the military move in? And they said, at the moment, the homeless situation is being discussed with some talk around providing rehabilitation, tiny homes, and training where appropriate, and a task force is being put together to tackle the rehabilitation from addiction and also to assess professionally any underlying mental or psychiatric disorders, for example, in military vets. They said the plan is currently in action. I said, as the military move into each state, is this effectively a state of military law? And they said, yes. And I said, what does being under military law mean in real terms? They said to me that usually being under military law means that there is no official representative in control at the central or head of government. And I said, is this currently the case? And they said, yes. They said that Donald J. Trump is commander-in-chief for the military and a high-status official and rank within the Galactic Federation of Light. So I said, is there another strategy in addition to removing these illegal immigrants and the homeless? And they said, yes. And I said, what is it? And they said that the Jubilee will require that citizens are fairly allocated their birthright income, and that the others have support managing their day-to-day lives once rehomed and rehabilitated, and that the money is not intended to support addiction, for example. Rather, it's to support rehabilitation programs and ongoing development. So where possible, all citizens can then engage positively towards being sovereign and growing in strength mentally, physically, and spiritually, so that they can be at peace and contribute to the consciousness of the golden age. And I said, when is the Jubilee likely to be activated? He said that the Jubilee is currently on track for July the 4th, 2026, and that in the year of the horse, which runs from February the 17th, 2026 to February the 5th, 2027, then the military law and the presence of the military will expand. They said the focus on government setup will shift towards devolution, and new technology will be introduced to enable direct-to-cell voting. The full Q financial program is due to go live in the year of the goat, which starts on February the 5th, 2027. So that's when the year of the goat begins. That doesn't mean that the Q financial system will go live on that date necessarily, but they're saying that in that year of the Chinese year of the goat is when they expect the Q financial system to go live. I said, on Donald Trump's recent posts and on his artwork at the White House, there is a Q plus sign. Can you tell me what the Q plus is? They said to me that Q plus is a new currency which will be introduced into the Q financial system and overseen by Q cybersecurity via the Space Force Delta Arms and Stargate infrastructures. I said to them, this military law template, will it be introduced into other countries, for example, the UK or Australia? And they said, yes, this template strategy is going to be implemented worldwide. I said, will the Q financial system go live in all countries or military locations, which we understand to be split into north, east, south, and west worldwide? I said, will it go live in either the military locations or all countries at once? And they said no. They said that the USA will lead and then the Middle East, followed by Europe. So finally, I asked them, what does the future self of the collective need to know at this moment in time? They said in the next 12 to 24 months, the whole world is going to dramatically change energetically as we now shift en masse into the 7D. There'll be more collapses of government and structures, government structures. There'll be reorganization, devolution of financial and judicial systems. Countries will be brought back to their original cultural roots, sometimes through visual military presence, and sometimes through people waking up en masse to their divinity and to their sovereignty. Education, health, and society will be reborn. Some areas will see big leaps, and other areas will take smaller steps. The introduction of birthright income, lower taxes, free and reduced costs for energy, and lower working hours, it will all add up to a significant rise in consciousness. They said emotionally, physically, and spiritually, it has been a very long road. There is still much to be managed, especially interdimensionally, but the fruits of our labor will now start to be seen clearly. And they said, light workers, this is your time. And I asked them, what do you mean there is still much to be managed interdimensionally? And they said, yes, there's still much to be managed interdimensionally. The Galactic Federation is working hard to ensure that divine laws are not breached. They're holding the grids steady, and telepathically they're working with the new leaders or the ambassadors and the AI and technology coders and developers. So I hope you found this information interesting. I wanted to get this video out quite quickly so that we could update on the 3i Atlas. And I'd be very interested to hear your thoughts about this video and also what topics you might like me to cover in the future. I'm also working on putting together an online course in how to meet your guardian angel, as in a recent vote, people seem to be quite interested in that topic. So thank you all for supporting me and sticking with me when it's been quite difficult to navigate the censorship. I still get censored heavily. Last week, I had 4 notices from YouTube. And as you know, I recently lost a Facebook group with 6,000 members. So I'm still trying to navigate through that. So thank you very much for your donations and for sharing and liking and commenting, which helps to get my content noticed. So until next time, bye for now.
Spooky 2 Central Introduction, Powerful Plasma Healing. Key Feature 1, built on Royal RIFE's original plasma ball. Spooky 2 Central replicates the original RIFE concept with direct frequency transmission up to 3.5 MHz, no fixed carrier needed. The tube contains argon or helium, completely safe noble gases that ensure the cleanest signal output for pristine frequency emission. This makes Spooky 2 Central the most capable, intuitive, and powerful RIFE machine in the Spooky 2 family. Key Feature 2, Powerful 4-in-1 Healing Technology. In addition to its most powerful plasma mode, Spooky 2 Central also offers ultrasonic, PEMF, and contact modes. You can run each mode individually or activate them simultaneously for enhanced therapeutic effects. Key Feature 3, 60,000 plus free frequency programs. When connected to a Spooky 2 generator, Spooky 2 Central gains access to the full Spooky 2 software frequency database, with over 60,000 free programs covering everything from detox, pain relief, and inflammation to emotional balance and energy support. What real users are saying. How Spooky 2 Central helped me avoid leg surgery.
I didn't believe that it could possibly do that, especially this flashing light. I mean, that's a plasma generator, and Phonotron, I believe. It was Spooky Central. I dedicated a week of the plasma, and I put it right between my legs, and I'd set it on top of a box after a while. I'd set another box on there, raise it up some more, and run 2 hours a day for 7 days. And at the end of 7 days, I could not see a single vein. Now my legs, I can see some veins now, but the edema is gone. The fluid in my legs is gone. So yes, I have some veins that show, but my legs are healthier.
Regaining movement after brain trauma, my Spooky 2 Central story.
We started weekly 1-hour treatments with the Spooky Plasma Central. At first for his epilepsy, so he would be able to stop his medication altogether. After 3 months, it improved so much that we moved on to various nerve restoration programs. That was when he first noticed in his yoga sessions that he could bend a lot better and move a lot better. And his improvements started to get noticed by others wondering what he was doing. When asked about the difference before and now, he points to the fact that he has more self-confidence, mentally and physically, has a better memory, and can now raise his arm above his head, whereas before it was stuck to his chest. He can walk down the stairs normally, hold things with his left hand to help his right hand, and he turned into a quick walker.